Some divorces end with signatures and silence. Others become symphonies of destruction, echoing for years, where every memory is turned into a weapon, and every private moment is picked apart in court. The ongoing legal saga between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie is the latter, a drama no longer about love, but about legacy, pride, and pain that refuses to fade. And this time, the battleground isn't custody, or the infamous plane incident from 2016. It's a vineyard in the south of France. Back in 2008, Brad and Angelina purchased Chateau Miraval, a picturesque estate in Provence, not just as a romantic getaway, but as a business venture. Together, they created one of the most respected wine brands in the celebrity world. But today, that vineyard is no longer a symbol of unity. It's ground zero in a war where every grape carries emotional weight. According to court documents obtained by People magazine, Brad Pitt has now filed a legal motion demanding that Angelina Jolie hand over all private communications related to her controversial sale of her shares in Miraval to the Stoli Group, a company owned by Russian oligarch Alexei Oleinik. Why private messages? Because Brad believes they will prove a long-standing claim that Jolie secretly and maliciously sold her shares to harm him, not to do smart business, but to punish. Pitt, now 61, argues that Jolie deliberately went behind his back and sold her stake to a company he strongly opposed. According to him, it wasn't just about money, it was an act of revenge. The sale, done without his consent, handed partial control of their beloved wine brand to a partner he neither trusted nor respected. Now, Brad wants more than just courtroom declarations. He's demanding that Jolie's private texts and emails reveal her intent. To him, the tone, the timing, the secrecy, all point to a calculated move meant to undermine him personally and professionally. Adding more fuel to the fire, Brad also wants to depose Alexei Oleinik, the powerful Russian businessman who bought Jolie's stake. He believes Oleinik holds critical information about how the deal unfolded. But the billionaire has refused to cooperate, citing that as a Swiss resident, U.S. courts cannot compel his participation. Brad's request isn't just a move for information, it's symbolic. Just last year, Angelina made a similar demand. She wanted Brad to disclose his communications with third parties regarding the 2016 private jet incident, the same flight that triggered the couple's separation. Back then, Brad's legal team slammed Jolie's request as sensationalistic and an invasion of privacy. They claim Brad had already voluntarily submitted enough evidence about the incident, and that Jolie was using it to create media pressure. Now, Brad is the one demanding private messages. Not necessarily because he's contradicting himself, but because the battlefield has shifted. This time, he wants to prove that Jolie is the one hiding intentions, that she acted in bad faith, and not just as a savvy businesswoman. At the heart of it, this isn't about wine. It's about control, closure, and credibility. Two people who once shared 6 children, red carpets, and a dreamy chateau are now locked in a psychological chess match, where every move is both legal and deeply personal. Brad seems to be fighting for more than just business equity. To many fans, it looks like he's trying to reclaim a piece of himself, his reputation, his narrative, and perhaps the final thread of his past life with Jolie. As for Angelina, is she defending her autonomy as a woman reclaiming her power? Or is she responding the only way she knows how after years of feeling emotionally overshadowed? This is more than a celebrity divorce. It's a public excavation of private heartbreak. The vineyard that once witnessed joy, laughter, and maybe even whispered dreams, now bears witness to court filings, subpoenas, and unrelenting tension. For fans who once admired their union, watching this unravel feels like watching a castle slowly crumble, brick by brick, memory by memory. Brad is not just asking for documents, he's asking for accountability. Whether it's to protect his image or to finally draw a line under years of unresolved tension, no one knows. But one thing is clear. He doesn't want Jolie's version of the story to be the last one told. Angelina, for her part, has yet to comment publicly on this new development. Her silence may be strategic, or perhaps it's exhaustion. After all, how long can two people keep digging into a past that no longer offers healing? Brad Pitt, now 61, is no longer the young heartthrob from Legends of the Fall. He's a seasoned man, quieter now, trying to rebuild his life after storms both public and private. Angelina Jolie, now 50, remains a complex figure, a fierce mother, an unyielding woman. And between them, their only biological son, Knox Jolie Pitt, 16 years old, is growing up as a living witness to everything that has unraveled. Brad argues that Jolie's decision to sell her stake without notifying him was deliberate, not for money, not for strategy, but out of pain, out of anger, out of revenge. He claims she knew full well that he had strongly opposed any partnership with Jolie, and yet she went ahead and sold to them anyway, knowing it would cut deepest. What shocked fans even more was Pitt's latest move, demanding all private messages be handed over, text threads, secret emails, unseen conversations. This wasn't just a legal maneuver, it was a revelation. Brad Pitt was no longer willing to stay silent. A love the world once believed in, now reduced to evidence. In court documents filed on June 30th, Pitt seeks to depose Alexei Oleinik, the head of Jolie Group. He claims the Russian businessman is a key player who, quote, knows the full details of the agreement between Jolie and Jolie. But Oleinik, currently residing in Switzerland, has refused to cooperate, citing protection under local laws. Tensions rise. Lawyers, once merely background figures, are now leading roles in a real-life courtroom drama. Jolie's legal team previously demanded Pitt release third-party information regarding the infamous 2016 private jet incident, a dark turning point in their marriage and the moment Jolie initiated divorce proceedings. Pitt called that request sensational and an invasion of privacy. In response, he offered to voluntarily provide, quote, documents sufficient to establish what happened. A quiet way of saying, I'm not hiding from the past, but I won't let it be weaponized either. Still, fans wonder, what is Brad really trying to protect? His wealth? His reputation? Or his right to tell his side of the story? Because when Angelina went public, when she spoke of fear, trauma, and why she left Brad, he remained silent. For years, he said nothing. No smear campaign, no public rebuttal, no private texts leaked. But now, he wants those very texts revealed. The question is, why now? And why at all? Some believe Brad is mounting a counterattack, trying to prove that Jolie isn't blameless. Others see it as a desperate bid to salvage his name after years of damage to his career and personal life. But perhaps deeper still, this is the action of a father. A man trying to ensure Knox, their son, will one day see the full picture, not just grow up believing one version of the story. In the midst of this battle, the presence of Inés de Ramón, the young woman now by Brad Pitt's side, suddenly becomes significant. She is not just a new partner. Inés seems to be a turning point, a kind of emotional therapy for Brad. With her, people are seeing a softer Brad, less rebellious, more open to a new chapter. But can a new chapter truly begin when the previous one is still being litigated? The fight between Brad and Angelina is no longer just about divorce. It is a battle over narrative, over truth, over who really suffered, and who, whether they stayed or walked away, is still trying to protect what's left.